If you are sitting on the Illinois side of the border right now, thinking about making that move here to Kenosha, well, this video is going to save you a lot of second guessing. I have helped families cross that state line for over 7 years, and there are 7 things that have surprised all of them every single time. Some good, a couple uncomfortable, but all worth knowing before you write that first offer. Here's one that always hits first. In Illinois, when you write an offer on a house, you usually wait 2 or more days to hear if you got the house. Then it goes to your attorney for review. The deal could still fall apart for pretty much any reason during that attorney review window. But in Wisconsin, we could have a signed deal in 2 hours, no attorney required. Most buyers and sellers here do not use an attorney, and that's just the first surprise. There are 6 more coming, including one at number 4 that's going to change how you look at your budget for the rest of this video. So make sure that you stay tuned. I'm Chad Scott, the mayor of Kenosha. I'm a realtor with eXp Realty right here in Kenosha, and helping people relocate from Illinois is most of what I do every single week. If you want to go deeper on any of this, I have a free Kenosha relocation guide linked down below in the description of this video. But first, let's get into these 7 things. Let's start with number 1. The Wisconsin buying process feels completely different from what you're used to in Illinois. And this is the one that catches every single Illinois buyer off guard. In most of Illinois, you have an attorney review every contract. That's just how it works there. Every offer, every counter, every addendum. An attorney is reading every line and making sure that your deal is in your best interests. In Wisconsin, the realtor handles the contract directly. We still make sure the contract is in your best interest, but you don't have to pay that extra $800 or more to have someone else look over the contract. Attorneys are optional. Now, if you want one, you can absolutely hire one. Nobody will stop you. But most buyers and sellers here do not use one. You can, but you don't have to. That alone is a culture shock. Illinois buyers walk in expecting to wait days for their lawyer. In Wisconsin, we can move from offer to acceptance in a few hours. Now, realistically, it'll probably be a day or so, but there is no attorney review period where either party can just get out for any reason that they want. Now, in a tight market, the buyer who can move faster wins. You're not going to lose a house because your attorney is on vacation or doesn't like something in the contract and strikes it out, which upsets the other side. That could be a real game changer when you're in a tight market like we are now. What you do need is a realtor who actually understands cross-border transactions. Now, not every Wisconsin agent has done a lot of Illinois deals, and not every Illinois agent understands Wisconsin contracts because they are different. You want someone who has handled both sides of that border, which is me, by the way. I have done deals in both Illinois and Wisconsin, so I know both contracts and how to handle the attorneys on the Illinois side. We had an Illinois relocator a couple years ago that was really surprised at how fast things moved here in Wisconsin. They thought they had to go through their real estate attorney, spend that extra $800, and have them review everything, which would add another couple days. But they were pleasantly surprised at how fast and smooth everything actually went here in Wisconsin, with just me and the title company handling everything for them. Number 2, the commute is better than you would actually think. And I know that sounds like something a realtor says just to close a deal. So let me give you the actual numbers that most realtors won't actually give you. From Pleasant Prairie down to the Lake County job corridor along I-94, you're looking at 25 to 40 minutes most mornings. From Central Kenosha, add maybe 10 minutes. Not too bad. If you are commuting to the Loop, the Metro Union Pacific North Line out of the Kenosha station gets you to the Ogilvie station in about an hour and 35 minutes. You read, you sleep, you work, but you do not sit in traffic. That's the important part. Now, here's the part that most of my Illinois clients miss until they actually make the move. If you're already commuting from Gurnee, Lake Forest, or Libertyville, you're already driving 30 to 45 minutes to get pretty much anywhere because of the Illinois traffic. Moving to Kenosha is not adding an hour to your day. In a lot of cases, it's adding maybe 15 minutes, or the commute stays exactly the same. So you're not adding much of anything, really. And then there's the hybrid work reality. A lot of my relocator clients only go in the office 2 or 3 days a week. 2 days of a 50-minute drive is a completely different life than 5 days of a 30-minute drive. So Ollie and I, when we first moved up here to Kenosha, we used to commute to Skokie. It was about a 40-ish minute drive from Kenosha to Skokie down I-94, one way. We used to make that. We both worked 3 days a week. We worked 14-hour shifts, 4 days a week. So it was a 80-minute commute total each day. It got to be a lot after a little while. I won't lie. It got to be a lot. Traffic was horrendous most days. But we felt it was completely worth it just because we enjoyed the cheaper cost of living up here in the Kenosha area. We enjoyed the community a lot more than where we came from in the Brookfield area. We enjoyed the things that Kenosha does up here, the festivities. We enjoyed being closer to the lake. And we just enjoyed the lifestyle that we started living up here in the Kenosha area. But it may not be for you. Make sure that you run your specific numbers, the commute time from wherever you plan on buying here in the Kenosha area to your job, and make sure that you feel like it's worth it before you commit to a house up here in the Kenosha area. It may not be worth it for you. So what this means for you is that you need to run the actual numbers for your specific employer and your specific schedule before you talk yourself out or into the move. Only 6% of the people watching this are actually subscribed to my channel right now. If these videos are giving you real information that you can actually use, hit that subscribe button before you forget. I put this out every single week. You will not want to miss the next one. Number 3, how much house you actually get for your money. And this is where Illinois families have to sit down for a second and take a breath. $600,000 in Lake County, Illinois buys you basically a 1980s split level on a quarter acre, maybe updated, maybe not. 3 bedrooms, 2-car garage if it was built recently enough. But that same $600,000 here in the Kenosha area, it often gets you a newer build, usually 3 to 4 bedrooms, 2 to 3-car garage, often a finished basement with a real decent sized yard. Sometimes newer construction with a builder warranty as well. Even at that $400,000 to $450,000 level, you're still getting comparable square footage and often newer construction here in the Kenosha area with lower maintenance costs because systems have not been replaced 4 times over and over again. The neighborhoods where the gap shows up the most for relocator buyers are in the Forest Park, Allendale, the Summers area, and Pleasant Prairie, which isn't technically a neighborhood, but we all consider Pleasant Prairie a suburb of Kenosha. I have full neighborhood tour videos for each one of these on this channel if you want to take a look at them. What this means for you is that your budget goes even further before you even factor in the tax savings. And those tax savings, by the way, is exactly where we're headed next, because the numbers are even bigger than most people expect. Number 4, the property tax math actually works. Not in some vague Wisconsin is cheaper way. I mean, when you sit down with a calculator and run the numbers, the gap is bigger than most people expect. Now, here's what it actually looks like. A $450,000 home in Lake County, Illinois, at the current 2.61% effective rate, you're paying around $11,700 a year in property taxes, give or take. That same $450,000 home in Kenosha County, Wisconsin, at 1.69%, you're paying closer to $7,600 a year in taxes. That's a $4,100 savings on one home every single year, forever. And that is before you factor in Cook County, where the rate is north of 3%, or McHenry County at 2.42%. If you're coming from any of those markets, the savings get even bigger. A Cook County family moving into the same Kenosha home is saving closer to $6,000 a year. Stack that on top of what we just talked about, and you're already getting more house for the same money. Now subtract $4,000 to $6,000 off a year of the carrying cost, and that's not a small adjustment. That is a different financial life for you and your family. What this actually means for your family is an extra $400 to $700 a month back in your budget. That's a car payment. That's a daycare for a kid. That's a vacation fund that actually fills up. Now, before we keep going, I put together a free Kenosha relocation guide that goes even deeper on everything in this video. The property tax breakdown, the neighborhoods, and the cross-border buying process. It's all in there, and the link is down in the description. Just drop your name, email, and phone number, and I'll send it over to you. Grab it while you're watching. Then let's keep going with this video. Number 5, the lakefront is actually accessible. And this one surprises Illinois families more than almost anything else. Most transplants here in Kenosha assume lake access in Kenosha means the HarborPark area only, but it doesn't mean that. We have public beaches all over, lakefront parks, a working marina, Pinoy Park, Simmons Island, and they're all free, all walkable from large parts of the city. No association fee, no beach pass system, no driving 30 minutes to find a public stretch. Compare that to Lake County, Illinois, where if you want lake access there, you're usually paying an association fee, buying into a private beach community, or driving up to the Wisconsin border anyway. And the downtown lakefront is in a real growth moment right now. There's a $450 million HarborPark redevelopment underway. The Carrick building is already open. It opened back in January 2026 and it has changed the whole pedestrian experience of downtown. This is not the Kenosha people remember from 15 years ago. It's changing, and it's changing fast. Now, what's this mean for you? Well, if you have kids or grandkids, you have a free summer-long playground 10 minutes from most Kenosha neighborhoods. That is not a feature that most Illinois families even think to ask about. And then they get here and realize, what have they been missing? Number 6, the community feels smaller than you would expect. And this is the one that addresses the biggest fear that I hear from Illinois families before they ever make the move up here to Wisconsin. The number one fear is always some version of this. Will it feel like home, or will I feel like a stranger in Kenosha? Well, Kenosha sits at around 100,000 people. Big enough for everything that you need, plus a real downtown, real restaurants, real grocery stores. But it's small enough that within 3 or 4 months, you'll start seeing the same faces at the coffee shop, the gym, and the kids' soccer field. You start having actual neighbors instead of people who just live next door to you. Most people that move here from Lake County or McHenry tell me they did not realize how transactional their old suburb had become until they actually moved here. The community events felt corporate. Everything felt like a function instead of a community. Honestly though, it's not magic. You still have to put yourself out there. It took me a little while to do this, but the soil is good for taking root here. You just need to plant your flag. And the community grows around you. And it really does work. Trust me on this. Number 7, and this is the one that I want you to actually hear, because I'm going to be honest with you for a minute here, because nobody else is going to be. There are things that you're going to give up when you cross that border, and they're real things. And I'd rather tell you now than have you learn it after you've already moved up here. Restaurant variety. Kenosha has some great spots, but the depth of options that you have in the North Shore suburbs, they're just not the same thing here. If you eat out 4 nights a week or more and rotate through 20 of your favorite spots, you're going to have to adjust your habits when you move up here to the Kenosha area. Shopping density, the everyday stuff, you'll be just fine with. But the high-end retail experience, it's a drive. Milwaukee or back into Illinois for the bigger high-end stores. Unless you can find it at the Pleasant Prairie Premium Outlet Mall, which is right here in Pleasant Prairie. Direct airport access, well, O'Hare is about an hour and 15 minutes on most days. Not the 30-minute drive that it was from the North Shore if you travel for work weekly. So you need to factor that in. However, we do have Mitchell International Airport in Milwaukee, which is only about a 30, maybe 40-minute drive from Kenosha. So if you can get a flight out of Mitchell International Airport, which is a smaller airport than O'Hare, and usually cheaper flights than O'Hare. However, it doesn't have as many flights as O'Hare does. So keep that in mind as well. And the school district question. Kenosha schools are really solid, but if you came from Stevenson, Lake Forest, or New Trier, you need to do your homework on specific Kenosha schools, not just the district overall. The variation school to school here really matters. Now look, most families who make the move here tell me that the trade-offs were totally worth it. The financial relief makes up for most of it. The community feel makes up for the rest of it. But you need to know what you are signing up for going in. I do not want you to write the offer thinking everything is going to be exactly the same as Lake or Cook County. Just cheaper. Because it's not. It's different. And different's not bad. But different is real. And different. If any of this is hitting home for you, If you're sitting on a property tax bill that feels broken, maybe your kids need more room, or your spouse is asking what life looks like on the other side of the border, make sure that you start here. Before you book anything or call anyone, including me, grab the free Kenosha relocation guide that's linked down below. It covers everything in this video, plus the cross-border paperwork, the school zone breakdown, and the neighborhoods that fit different budgets. I just need your name, number, and email, and I'll send it right over to you. That's the first step. Link is right below in this video in the description. If you found this useful, hit that subscribe button for me. I put out videos like this every single week, covering the Kenosha market, specific neighborhoods, what things actually cost, and what it actually looks like to make this move from Illinois to Kenosha. And if you want to go deeper, I've got a video on the full Illinois to Kenosha relocation process. I'll link it right up here for you. And I'll see you in the next one.